What's up guys, Aussieplays here, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be the stream highlights for the Madden Mobile 20 Gauntlet mode. I hope you guys enjoy. Timestamps will be in the description box below.
What's up guys, I'm Jeff Parsley, I'm the community manager for Madden Mobile. We've got a new stream for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the all-new Gauntlet mode coming to Madden Mobile next season. I've got Will Fitzgerald with us today. He's one of the game designers. He's been the primary one working on this new mode for you guys. So welcome to the show, Will.
Thank you.
Excited to have you.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go over a lot of information about this new mode, talk to you guys about what's coming. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about Gauntlet mode. Tell us a little bit about, now from what I understand, just as clarification for all the players out there, Gauntlets is what we're calling it right now. It may not be actually called Gauntlets when the game is launched, but that's what we're going with now.
That's right. So Gauntlets have been the internal code name, more or less, for it as we develop through it. As you play through Madden Mobile currently, you'll go through our programs, all of our live events, and with all that, you come in, you grind out for a couple weeks, you're going through this this sort of theme park experience where you're grinding stuff out, you're getting your rewards, you're grinding stuff out, you're getting your rewards. The new thing about this new Gauntlet mode, this new way to play that we've created is, one, it's definitely what we're using for our new Madden Master Track, so you definitely want to be involved with it. And two, from a design philosophy, what we're doing here is, instead of kind of doing what programs do, we've taken a different approach where it's more of like an escape room, so to speak, a dungeon, so to speak, where you're going to come into these maps. They're smaller, they're a bit more linear, the path is pretty clear on what you want to do, and you're just going to go through all this different 3D gameplay and some puzzle solving to get these stages, clear these stages, and get the rewards at the end of them all.
Okay, so we've got our first screen up. This would be the screen after from the main menu. We've got one of our sections of the game this year is the solo mode, which will have programs like live events. You're going to have your season mode in there, and then the Gauntlet mode here.
Correct.
So you'd hop in here. Clicking on Gauntlets would take you into the next screen, which would actually be our first preview of some of the first Gauntlet or Madden Master series, I think,
that's right,
that we're going to see. So talk to us a little bit about the idea behind this. Like, how do these Madden Master series work? Why would a player want to engage with it?
Sure. So, first and foremost, when the game's live and we have our big programs up, you want to be paying attention to that. But beside that, you want to constantly be here in our Gauntlets, where you're going to be going through this like mini month-long journey. So we're going to have many Gauntlets through here. We're going to start with Juju as our first Gauntlet. He's the final boss, if you will, of this first Gauntlet. And you're going to work through about 10 stages to play through all of our schemes, all of our 3D gameplay, and other puzzle-solving elements, to eventually get to him and his boss stage at the end. And upon defeating him as the big final boss stage that I've designed for you, you'll literally acquire him. So
okay. So when you go in, let's take a look at the first stage,
sure,
or so to speak.
Yeah.
So talk us through the stages. How do they work? So like you've described it, we've got it's kind of like a dungeon crawl. You've got to get through one stage to progress to the next, and the goal getting to the very end where you can acquire the master. Talk to us about, within each stage, what you're going to be doing.
That's right. So basically, you're going to come into every fresh stage. There's about 10. On the top left of this image, you'll see that there's like a little chalk circle, or there's a bunch of chalk circles, and then there's like one that's circled within the circle, if you will. And so that represents like you're on stage 3 of 10 right now, because there's 10 dots up there. And this is still very work in progress. We're just bringing all the art in right now. And so you come in, you've got the stage start node. Every time you click on this, it's an information node that's going to explain what you need to be paying attention to on this map. So they're going to be custom written to explain every single map. And we have scores. We're probably going to launch with easily over 100 of these, possibly close to 200 of these stages. And as you move through, each of our icons represent a different element of gameplay. So you're going to encounter drills, more traditional scenarios, overdrive live events. And it's not the same overdrive live events anymore. We've built out hundreds of different combinations. So now we've kind of synthesized what's great about our traditional football scenario gameplay and our overdrive gameplay. So you'll actually have objectives you're trying to acquire as you're moving through here. So some of the overdrive gameplay you're going to encounter as you're moving through these stages are, play as a specific scheme, or score X amount of points, or rush so far, pass so many yards, use tactics, pass pressures, yada yada. But as you move through all this and you're moving through these challenges, you're going to acquire other things that aren't 3D gameplay. Like this is a screen of our trivia. So it's a brand new map node, our trivia map node, and we have it, put all through here. And basically, you're going to have 15 seconds right now when you activate a trivia node to read the question, look through the answers, pick the right answer, and submit it. And if you happen to forget to hit the submit button when the timer hits 0, we'll auto-submit for you with whatever you had selected. And if you get it right, you're going to get trivia currency. And if you get it wrong, well, you don't. But we'll have it on cooldowns. So trivia is a repeatable, endless grind at your leisure. You can do as much or as little as you want when you encounter them. And like I said, they'll be on a cooldown. So you'll pass it or fail it. It'll go on cooldown. It'll come back up. You do it again.
So let's take a step back. Maybe go back 2 screens and take a look at the stage again. So I want to talk a little bit about, in order to progress, so you're in a sense gonna have to go in order between these nodes.
Correct.
To get to the end of the stage. And some of the ways that you're gonna progress through this are gonna be different. Some are gonna be live events, like you said. Some are gonna be overdrive. Some will be challenges or trivia. Are there any other aspects to this, like a social aspect, or what are the, I guess, roadblocks that people are going to run into in terms of making their way through this, other than just completing these events?
Sure. So there's 3 types of game modes, then I'll explain the social elements within them, or 3 designs, level designs, if you will. So we have a linear path like what you're seeing here. You start at the start node, you're going to follow the path. You're going to, this level, is big enough to go off the top of the screen here. But you're going to go up there, traverse on the path, come back down, and finish at the stage end. This is what we would just call a linear map. We also have a semi-linear map design, which is where you will actually choose your path. So you'll move a little ways linear, and then you'll be given at least 2 paths to choose among. You'll pick at least one of them, and you'll clear it. And there'll be specific rewards on each path, so you'll actually be wanting to do your research, look down the map first, see what matters most to you, and then make your decision. And then finally, we have hub-level layouts, which are more of a sandbox thing where you're going to have a map node in the middle. You're not going to have paths anymore, really. You're going to have a handful of tool sets, a handful of like live events that you're going to use to grind out as much or as little as you want until you can get through that hub. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about that because the semi-linear and the hub level designs use one of our new social elements. So we've got this new layer that we put on top of some of our map nodes called gates. Right. And we have currency gates and we have time gates. Currency gates are literally grind out the local currency. When you get enough of it, you'll unlock the gate and move forward. And time gates are, when you encounter them, it will say you can't pass for X amount of time. I know that feels bad. So what we've done here is combo it with an assist system because we want to incentivize more social play. So basically, if you're in a league and your league is hopefully active and you're all talking and working together, when you encounter these, there's a whole new assist system and a set of screens where you can manage helping each other out. So let's say you're at a currency gate and it requires 10 keys, whatever the key is. You can sit there and grind out those 10 keys, but while you're doing that, you can actually ask your league for help right there on that same live event panel. And what will happen is anyone else that's in the league is going to be notified that you're at that gate and you need help right now. And all they've got to do is go navigate to it and say they want to help. They lose nothing and you gain everything. I mean, they lose like a second of time, I guess, but obviously you should help each other out. And when you do that, you'll move through these gates faster. And same with time. If you run into a time gate that's like, I don't know, an hour, everyone can help you. And maybe if a couple people help you and it was a 30-minute help on each, then you instantly get through it. One, we want a gate for the social element to help you help each other. And 2, we don't want you to just only live in gauntlets. There's other great things we want you to move through the game. So there's other map nodes and stuff from that same sentiment that we're using to help give you the maximum reward if you're going wide in our game.
Okay, so you brought up rewards. Let's talk rewards. Let's go back, S. Gibbs, to the boss screen. Let's take a look here. So this would be the final stage. Talk to us about, you're not only gonna be grinding for this Juju player, but you're also gonna be gaining rewards throughout the gauntlets. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so every single stage you will have at least one reward node that gives a pretty meaty reward pack. Sometimes you'll have up to 4 reward nodes on a single stage. And with this, we're giving out all the currencies that matter. Like, for example, let's say you don't want to play Overdrive competitively, but you do like Overdrive live events. I make sure we have captain and coach currencies throughout these rewards so you can still be leveling up your captains and coaches and developing them without having to go into a competitive mode if you want to do it that way. We'll be giving out stamina, so as you move through, if you want to keep pushing forward, we'll make sure you have more and more stamina to do that.
Do these gauntlets require stamina to progress through them?
They do. So every 3D gameplay will require stamina.
Okay.
For the most part, no other nodes whatsoever would require that.
Got it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you'll get that. You'll get other currencies, training points for your players, coins, other currencies that we're introducing. So all that'll be trickled throughout here. And then when you get to a boss stage, and again, this is still work in progress, much more art is coming in, you'll fight through it, you'll get to the very end, here's Juju in front of you, and you've got to go into this big battle against him that we've designed for you. These are unique, these aren't going to be seen a second time anywhere else in terms of how that 3D gameplay has been set up. So it'll be puzzle solving, there'll be a lot of objectives you need to acquire while you're on the field. And yeah, and then afterward, once you defeat him, you will be given him as a player for you at a much higher OVR than it required to come in, because I failed to mention earlier, to enter some of these gauntlets, there will be an OVR gate, just so it's paced well for you. And so if you come in, say, at a 70 OVR, this Juju could be possibly 80 OVR. So it's, very
so
good.
The idea is that you come in at a certain level and you're going to get a reward that's going to be meaningful to your team.
Absolutely.
Okay. And talk to us about, so every time I go into a gauntlet, are the stages going to be the same? Is it randomly generated, or how does that work?
Sure. So we have handcrafted every single stage you'll experience. However, we do have a cool system where we tell our engine to procedurally select which stages that we're going to give to you. So you and all your buddies, when you all come in, you will have different stages. They are of similar difficulty, similar reward, etc., but they will have unique layouts, different 3D gameplay, etc. So every time you come in, yeah, it will be different.
Interesting. So the initial iteration of the Gauntlet mode, it sounds like it's really going to be tailored towards this Master Series program.
Correct.
The grind towards the Madden Master.
Right.
And the idea, though, from what I understand, is that we're going to implement it in other areas as well.
That's right.
Can you talk about any of those? Is that still under lock and key, or?
For the most part, it is. I can at least talk philosophically for a second about it. So, this is the brand new way to play. This is our first massive foray into it. We want to get it in your hands as soon as possible, get your feedback, and iterate on it. And from that feedback, we've got another 2 or 3 cooking, and we're going to make sure that those are, as refined as possible, and we'll be rolling those out early in the season. But they will, also give great rewards, have awesome playability, and just all fitting under the Gauntlet umbrella pretty well, and be different from programs.
And let's jump right back into it. Okay, so Gauntlet mode, we know that it is this new mode that's designed, from what I understand, to be a way that people can continue progressing with their team outside of major programs.
That's right.
A lot of the feedback that we got from you guys this year is, when is the new program? When is the new content? You guys are hungry for content. This is a way that we can deliver to you guys ongoing content that you'll be able to continuously grind for, that'll give you meaningful rewards. How are we going to ensure that the rewards scale with the players throughout the rest of the season?
Sure. So we do have the tech to obviously track, your lineups and stuff. And so currently, as I'm designing further Gauntlet stuff through, all that, we have been exploring, exactly what you just said, how we can make this as rewarding as possible. So as you go through the main Madden Master Series, like we reviewed a moment ago, you'll get these key iconic players that are very powerful and very good for your upgrades. We've got a second type of gauntlet that we've been working on that's focused on more of a repeatable run. So each of these gauntlets, you're going to move through once, you're going to complete it, you're going to be done with it, you're not coming back to it. You'll move on to the next one because it's better. And you'll keep doing that. And again, we'll generate cool new stages for you and all that, but you're going to keep moving forward. The second one that I've been working on for you, that I'm going to launch to you as soon as I can, is more of like a true repeatable one. And basically what that is let's say there's not a program that you're interested in or that's giving you rewards that's relevant to you yet, you can move over to this other type of replayable gauntlet and come in, and we'll generate 10 more stages for you, and you'll play as much as you want. And when you're done with it, you'll get rewards at the end. The final stage, instead of being a boss stage, will be like a treasure room, if you will, and it will just have rewards for you to claim. And then as soon as that ends, you can just do it again and do it again and do it again, if that's the way you want to play. And that way, no matter what, you can always be spending your stamina to play our great new gameplay and keep getting more and more rewards.
How will the rewards in Gauntlets compare to those in like the repeatable live events during the season? Have we thought about the relationship there, where typically players in between programs are going in and playing like those daily live events,
Right.
repeatable stuff? I assume that there's still going to be a need and a want to do that for the players.
Absolutely.
Will there have to be some sort of choice that I make as a player to play those events versus like going in and grinding Gauntlets? I assume both will cost some sort of stamina.
That's correct. Yep.
And so is there a type of something that I would want to go after in Gauntlets versus playing these other live events?
Yeah. So as we, design out our reward, schematic, if you will, and we see where we want to put everything for you this season, you'll certainly have incentive to work on both programs and Gauntlets. Based on the packs you pull and how you acquire certain players, you may have more incentive to be in one versus the other because of just the way you achieve things. But let's say, not that this would happen, let's just say that you don't pull any packs, then of course you want to grind both to get everything that you would want. So it'll really come down to what you need, what you want for your lineup, for your ultimate team.
Okay.
But yeah, there's good on both.
Excellent. So we've got the all-new Gauntlet mode. Anything else that I missed in terms of what you want to relay to the people about this new mode? I know you're passionate about the design of it. You talked to me a lot about it. There's still a lot of moving parts and work in progress, but what else should the people know?
So I think the only other really cool, interesting thing that we haven't talked about yet for the new Madden Master Series Gauntlets would be just some of the other map nodes that we're adding. I think trivia is really cool. It's a big deal. We've got a huge database of knowledge for you. And if you don't know it, well, it's a learning opportunity. You'll know it, when you get it wrong. And if you do know it, then you're going to get those rewards. So we're really looking for ways to give you things besides 3D gameplay to do, to just supplement that. And so trivia is a really cool one. Another cool one that we're adding is what we're calling the Hail Mary map node. And Hail Marys are these one-shot, high stamina, therefore high risk, with a high reward experience that we'll have trickled throughout some of the maps. You may see this outside of Gauntlets as well. But basically, you'll be presented with a pretty difficult situation. You'll see the details of it out there on the live event panel, and you'll decide, is it worth this much stamina for me to try this today? And again, you only get one chance. So I recommend doing it because the rewards are really, really, really good.
Really
by
good.
comparison.
Really, really, really good.
Yeah, looking at the math and all, yeah. So do that. But yeah, if you're not as confident in a certain one, don't worry. You can totally leave it behind. You will see more of them. So
Okay.
if it's like really something outside of the way you like to play, you'll get ones that are good for you.
You got a screen for us. Oh, we got a hot off the presses.
That's right.
Hot off the presses. This just came in. This is an updated art look.
Yep.
For the Gauntlets. Talk to us about what's going on here. Anything different? Obviously, it's visually updated, but any other tidbits that you want to add in on?
Yeah, so this is getting closer to the ultimate vision we have visually for this. We have the Steelers scheme, and we're playing with it here. So instead of just a green grass field background, we wanted to explore, well, how cool would it be if it was the specific team? So in this case, when you're moving through the first gauntlet to battle Juju at the end, you will see this. And again, this is not final either. We even have cooler stuff that we'll try to show you as soon as we can. But we start to bring in what we're internally just kind of referring to as like doodles. So you see like those big hands pointing at the start node and some other stuff floating around. You see the almost explosion kind of thing around that first node on the linear path, because that's actually what one of our gates will be, and then you'll use the nodes around it to get the currency to unlock the gate and move forward. And so we're going to be using that doodle type of art to convey all kinds of information to you to make sure it's as clear as possible so you understand what's going on and that you don't miss anything that matters to you.
Excellent. Well, I love doodles, personally.
Yeah.
I'm a doodler. So we've got the final screen of Gauntlets we just showed you. Each one's going to be visually representative of the player and the team that you are going after for the Madden Master Series. Later on, I'm sure we'll get different visual styles for the different gauntlets that we have coming. So I think that about covers it, unless you had anything else to add on Gauntlets.
No, that's the first big overview. We'll certainly provide you more and more as soon as we're ready.
And make sure you guys give us feedback. Let us know what you think about Gauntlets. What do you want to know about Gauntlets? What would you like to see them become? Things like that. I'm going to post 2 threads. One's going to be on Reddit. One's going to be on Mudhead. Make sure to leave your feedback in there. I'll take your questions. We're going to get them answered by the team in tomorrow's Gridiron notes. So stay tuned for that. So let's recap. We'll do the Madden Mobile Minute. Today we brought on Will Fitzgerald, game designer. He is the lead in charge of designing the all-new Gauntlet mode. Gauntlets is going to be an all-new way for you to play. In between major programs, it's going to be a way for you to progress. They're going to be overall gates for you to go in. Say you have 70 overall, you're going to go in, you're going to play each stage of a dungeon crawl type of an experience. So you'll have a certain number of stages to go through. You're going to have to complete different nodes, live events, overdrive, real game scenarios. There's going to be trivia. There will be gates for you to have to ask your friends and your league mates for help. So there's going to be a whole new social component to this mode. At the end of it, you're going to battle in this really awesome boss mode that we have against these different players. In this instance, we have Juju that we're showing you. You're going to get a really, really good reward based on your team overall that's going to be beneficial for you. And these are going to be something that evolve throughout the season. So you're going to be able to see Gauntlets as not just this master progression, but also in other areas with endless options and endless rewards, things like that. So a really exciting game mode. We're excited to hear your feedback about it, so let us know. Next week, we've got our stream on front office and the return of sets. So make sure to tune in for that. And this was your Madden Mobile Minute.